So if I was to do this, and obviously it would now be for a very small person, it looks lovely. As soon as you do that, I'm like, hey!
Hi everybody, welcome to the latest video on the channel. Today we are joined by a host of glamorous Brazilians.
I'm very excited because Rob, I think we've got some absolute classics here.
There's some belters, isn't there?
There's a lot of stories behind a lot of it. Starting with flamingos, we've got 3 kits here, all done by Adidas. First impressions of that, fabric's minging, graphics pretty cool, but it's not going to win any awards for a top shirt, but I definitely like the look of it.
Even the graphic though looks like it's not registering properly. It's not intentional because it's all right on the front, and then the back,
flat, innit?
You can see where it's kind of slipped across the different colours.
They're all ready though, but I don't think that's
good then.
Ready for too much, but I do like the graphics, so
Yeah.
marks out of 11?
4.
Yeah. Generous, 3 for me. But this, let's get on to this. Let's get on to the good stuff.
Let's get on to the
This
good
player edition is lovely. I love the neckline, and sorry to say this, Adidas, but it reminds me of actually a Nike one from about 96, I think it was.
Similar to this
Yeah,
one,
similar to that actually, yeah, which we'll get onto in a second. We've talked about the detail that they put around the collars on a lot of the kits this season. That's no different, but what I do really love is this graphic that's on the back, origami instructions of how to make a flamingo, which I thought was really quite interesting.
Which
and quite
also
neat.
Seems to be the graphic on the sleeve as well.
Yeah, it's a lovely looking kit. Fabric is exactly like the Arsenal kit and all the others that we've reviewed. By and large, yeah, I think this is lovely.
Yeah, it's great. I think whether you're a collector or if you wear football shirts, which I don't anymore, this would absolutely be one to go out in. The details on it's stunning.
Yeah, it is. It's smart. So marks out of 11. I would probably go 7, maybe 8 on that.
Yeah, I'd probably go an 8 or a 9, I think, on this, because it's just so different but so relevant to the club.
Yeah, cool. All right, next.
More flamingo and more flamingos. We've got a bit more of the origami action on the front of this one as well. Not as much of a fan of this. It's got the 1981 commemorative.
I like the colour,
Yeah.
I would say that much. Fabric is okay. Yeah, not really much to say. I think when it comes to some of the replica kits, it is difficult the way that Adidas have taken them. It was the same situation that we had with the Man United kit.
Yeah, it was. It's a long way
the
off.
neckline is just, there's nothing they've done with it.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah,
but, not bad.
On the bright
quite
side, we do criticise embroideries a lot. And at least that is fully backed and everything. So.
Yeah, but it looks pretty ugly. I mean, come on.
It does, but we know that fans see value in embroidery. It's a really good quality embroidery, and it's got the backer on it to avoid chafing.
Yeah, I think you're being very generous there.
But if it's going to have an embroidery, then that's the way it's going to be, I think.
Yeah, I agree, but it is rather large. Anyway, marks out at 11?
6.
Oh, that's quite high.
I like the embroidery, whereas I don't usually.
I love the colourway. I like the graphic. I'd probably give it 5.
We did review another Flamengo shirt with 1981 on the back, so if you want to see that, just click here. Next, another Red Bull team wearing more Red Bull stuff.
Not really much to say about this.
No.
I like the graphic. I like the little QR code, which I'm sure if we scanned that, tells us lots about this team, the history,
delicious
the
Red Bull
heritage.
is.
Abracadabra. It takes you to their home website. Isn't that good?
Very
So
clever.
one thing they could do, though, is every time you go into the ground, it could tell you where you've been with that particular kit, which is pretty awesome.
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, I quite like that touch. But, I mean, as far as the kit's concerned, I love the neckline. Said that before, I love that kind of classic Nike neckline. But with regards to everything else, it's pretty straight up and down. It's basically a white top.
And just in case you were wondering, they are the Red Bulls.
Right, cool.
They hadn't quite made it clear enough on the front.
I tell you what, though, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be kind of tempted to wear that.
Nah, for me, this is, I don't know about Red Bull, it's pony as far as I'm concerned.
So what would you give it?
I'm going to give that a 2.
Nah, I'd give it a 3, possibly a 4, because I do like the graphic at the bottom. It's the first time we've seen that on a shirt, to my knowledge, and I also really like the neckline. So I'd probably give it a 3.
Right, so Red Bull gives you wings, but not so much me.
Next one?
Next one, we've got some jackets coming up as well, but let's have a look at a few of these things first.
Yeah.
I am a Kappa fan this season, as we've established in some of the other videos that you can see here, where you had a look at the Fiorentina shirt.
Yeah.
I think with these, again, they haven't let the side down. I don't know whether this would be an on-field jersey or a replica. I would guess a replica.
Well, here, why don't we ask the lads from Subside?
I don't know.
So basically the same answer we got, we don't know.
Yeah, well, if you know, if you work for Kappa, leave us a comment.
It's not bad, I don't mind it. I love a sash.
Good. Yeah, I love the sash on it. I think the printing's really crisp. We don't see piping very often anymore, and probably with good reason, but I actually don't mind it on this.
Yeah, I think that's a shocker.
Yeah, collar's pretty stiff and scratchy,
that's
don't
nice
like
though.
it. But yeah, the detail
Show the camera
on
this.
it's stunning.
That's really smart. If you can pick that up where you can see the tone-on-tone crest. I love little details like that. It's kind of like a hidden factor that you discover.
And then the deboss on the sleeves as well works really well against the shiny detail here. So we like the sash detail, which we are reliably informed is the explorer Vasco da Gama's journey from Portugal to Brazil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he travelled in a pretty straight line.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
Cool. So marks out of 11?
As a replica, I would probably give that a 7 because I don't like the fabric.
Oh, high marks indeed.
I would score it higher. I like it, but I think the fabric and the collar are ghastly.
I'd give it a 6.
Right. Same sort of thing again. This one, though, is a big letdown for me, as much as it's essentially the same shirt. In fact, it's even badly made because we've got a little hole here where they've missed the seam on the way through. So, brand new shirt, and Lord Subside will no doubt be sending that one back to Kappa headquarters.
Yeah. Marks out of 11?
You can't have more than one if it's come with a hole in it. Although I suppose it's not supposed to have a hole in it. 2.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Teamwear, isn't it, basically? However,
oh, now we're talking.
For Pride Month, Vasco did a special home and away kit featuring the rainbow sash. Purely for Pride Month, they completely changed out the home and away shirt. I think as much as anything, I just love what it stands for and the fact that they are willing to stand up and represent underrepresented communities. Wearing that on field for a whole month is just a great stand by the club. In terms of analysing it as a shirt, it's okay. The materials are nicer than on the other replicas. I think the piping on it's super heavy, unfortunately.
The piping for me destroys that kit.
Yeah,
if that was just all black
Yeah.
and really bring attention to the graphic, I think would have been enough.
Yeah.
What I do like about it though is how they've taken the Kappa logo and they've dropped it in the bottom.
Yep.
So, you know, if you're wearing that with a pair of jeans or whatever, you'll get that little logo hit, and I'm a massive fan of the Kappa logo.
Yeah,
I just love it.
It is good.
And I definitely think the mesh is better on these ones than it was on the others.
Yeah, far better. The other thing I like is on the back, we've got the debossed stripe, which is really cool. It's a shame that you'd lose some of it depending on what number was on the back.
Yeah.
But from a replica perspective, again, I think that's a really nice feature to have on it. So definitely good. I will give this one, mark it down for the piping, so I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, see, I would really mark it down because I think they've destroyed that kit with that pipe.
It looks super heavy at the back.
It's just dreadful. So I would mark that at most 4.
Wow.
But they'll redeem themselves with this one, which I think is the nicer kit out of the two, actually. But again, we've got a couple of quality issues around the neckline and how that's been finished.
Yeah.
Which I can only think is because these have probably been rushed through. But I mean, if you look at the way that that's been finished, that's not great. We've got a bit of puckering on the neckline there. It's not being stitched in very well. And I noticed here as well, we've got a little bit of extra thread coming through, which is actually the overlocking that's come through from the inside to the outside.
As with so much product in Brazil, it is made in Brazil because the import duties on bringing sportswear from abroad are prohibitively expensive. So brands tend to make product for sale in Brazil, and the quality of manufacturing just isn't where it is elsewhere.
But the one thing they do have in Brazil is scissors.
And teeth, so there's plenty of ways of fixing that.
But yeah, overall, I like that. I think the redeeming feature is that one. And it's got the emboss on the back as well, which is really lovely. So I would mark that one probably a 5, maybe a 6 if I really pushed it.
Higher than the last one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have marked it as high the last one. Right. Personally, I would have killed that. But yeah, good. Right. Love this next one.
Here we have got Botafogo. If I remember correctly, I think Ronaldinho paid for these at some point in his career. I like the shirt, I like the details on it. I think the fabrics, again, would have been better if they were closer to the Pride shirts we've just looked at. Not a Pride shirt, it's just the Centrum logo. Another strong social stand though, which is great to see in Brazil, where as much as Craig doesn't like me to talk about politics on these things, they have got quite an extreme president in the country. So to see football teams standing up for pride and racial equality and things is really quite a big stand by the clubs. So very impressed with that. My Portuguese isn't good enough to live translate this on here, but if somebody wanted to and leave it in the comments, then I'm sure you'd be greeted with lots of likes, which is the currency of YouTube that we all crave. I think it's a good shirt. Logo's alright-ish.
Dreadful.
Yeah, in fact, it's not even on properly on that sleeve. It might even be slightly higher up on this sleeve. Yeah, the logos aren't great. I think for what the club have done, in terms of taking their stand, I'd give them a really high score in terms of how the brand have executed it. I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Right intention.
Yeah.
I like the fact it's black and white stripes as well. But yeah, I would go with that.
Cool. Right then, now we've got jackets, where we go from the sublime to the ridiculous, but I think we'll start with the ridiculous. So Palmyra's own brand, not made by any of the familiar brands. I did spot that before and left it on so that you could enjoy it as well. Yeah, not much to say about this. I used this fabric a lot at the start of my career. It's probably still $1 a yard now, just like it was then. What do you reckon? You're going to wear that tonight?
No, I might not wear it tonight, but I do like jackets and jacket design. I always open that up and have a look at it. Yeah, it's pretty straight up and down training jacket.
You can almost fit a hand in the pocket.
Yeah, but what I do like is the logo is really cool.
Yeah.
This for me could almost be like a really nice streetwear item. Rock that with a pair of jeans, no one would know the logo. Yeah, so I think you could style that up quite nicely. So I
certainly
actually don't mind it.
You could style it out in the fact that it is somewhat janky.
Yeah, no,
I think
absolutely.
you could get away with it.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
I don't
You're going to
mind
score
it
the
at all.
jackets?
Well,
go on then.
I'd maybe give that a 6.
Wow.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Right, so if that's the 6, we should be in for some fairly big scores here.
Don't know. That's interesting. So that's own brand, yet this is Puma.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We have definitely seen this fabric before because we have used this for donkey's years.
Yeah.
A bit of elastic in the arms. This
A bit
is
less in this one.
Yeah, this is as straight up and down as they come. But yeah, again, I think from a European perspective, would I fancy rocking something like that? Yeah, I probably would actually.
Yeah, it's all
with
right.
a nice pair of sneakers.
I'd have reversed the zip out like it was on this one, just to give it a bit more of a flat finish.
Yeah, no, I quite like it. And it's finished off quite nicely inside, as you would expect from someone like Puma. I would mark that probably a 5 if I'm really, really honest.
Worse than the own brand. But now, Nike Corinthians jacket. One that I think is a lot nicer.
I like this. I don't like the graphic.
Do you know?
Like, as a jacket, I wouldn't want that on it. So if I was to do this, and obviously it would now be for a very small person, but how much more impactful is that visually? Just let the badge do the talking, nice and black, looks lovely. As soon as you do that, I'm like, hey,
I
I'm
think
not
if I was
wearing
a
that.
16-year-old Brazilian kid, I might prefer it looking like
Yeah,
that.
quite possibly, but that's why we do these.
Yeah, in fact, it's not made in Brazil, this one's made in Thailand. So there isn't even that to lean on. But yeah, the materials definitely feel like this has been designed to hit a price point locally.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's finished quite nicely.
It's finished
made
actually
nicely.
really well.
Yeah, I like it. I think the graphic detail on the front just gives it something a little bit different.
Yeah, cool.
What are you scoring that?
Probably the same as the last one, about a 5 or a 6.
Really? 6s across the board then? 3 6s. The outerwear of the devil.
Now the table is empty.
It is. And so are our brains after working through so many Brazil-related products. We hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave us a like. If you've got any favourites from what we've looked at or other Brazilian kits that we've missed, we'd love to hear about that. Hit the subscribe button to see what we're going to talk about next. And thank you for watching today.
Should I have a go?
Them turkeys are stressing me out.
They're not turkeys, they're geese.
They're not.
Well, they're not turkeys. There's no turkey farm around here. What's the likelihood of them being turkeys?
Prove it.